Hi guys, Mark here. I hope you're all doing well. In today's tutorial, I'm going to show you how to make a relatively simple spliced paracord dog leash. Today's project is done by twisting 3 pieces of paracord into a piece of rope. Then, on one end, a snap hook is back spliced. Then, the ends are finished with a Footrope knot. On the other side, a handle is made using an splice. Then again, our ends are finished up using a Footrope knot. So first, we're going to do our twisting. To twist the rope out of paracord for a 4-foot leash, we're going to need 3 pieces of Paracord 550, each 14 feet long. The main tool for twisting paracord into rope is going to be a hand drill with a hook screw inserted into the chuck. To start off, I'm going to take each of my cords and I'm going to tie the 2 ends together. To do this, I'm using an overhand knot. The result is going to be 3 loops. Next, I'm going to place all 3 loops onto a nail or S-hook. On the other side of my loops, I'm going to attach an S-hook onto each one. I'm now going to twist each of my loops clockwise for a set number of turns. Here, I want a fairly hard twist in my loops. To achieve this, I'm going to do 15 turns on my drill. Next, I'm going to twist all 3 loops at the same time, this time counterclockwise. Again, you want a fairly hard twist. Next, I unhook my rope to release the tension, then tape up the ends. The result is a nice looking tight rope, which we can now use for our leash. We're going to continue by processing our rope a bit further. First off, on one side, we have 3 loops. Remove your tape. Tape up each loop. Then cut the 3 loops like this. So each loop produces 2 ends. Continue by unraveling about half a foot to 8 inches. Tape up at the 6 to 8 inch mark. Then unravel your 3 ends. Like this. So this is one side done. The other side of our rope is done pretty much the same way. So we undo the knots tape up the ends together undo this part here measure out a length of half a foot to 8 inches tape up at the 6 to 8 inch mark, then unravel the 3 ends. We now attach a snap hook onto one end of our rope. To do this, we're going to use a crown knot. The rule here is that each pair of strands is going to pass through the opening in the snap hook. So you take your first pair, pass it through the opening, counterclockwise over the next pair. The next pair, again, travels through the opening, counterclockwise over the last pair. The last pair is going to pass through the opening as well as under the first pair, so through here. So, through the opening and under our first pair. Tighten up. You should get a triangular shaped crown knot. So, like this. Continue by removing the tape under the crown knot. Tighten up the crown knot as much as you can. like this. We now splice our 3 pairs into our rope. Each pair is going to act as a single strand. In our rope, we have the same thing. We have 3 strands, each consisting out of 2 cords. Take a pair, pass it over one, under one. Over one strand, under one strand. The next pair does the same thing. Over, under. Over a strand, under a strand. The final pair, again, over one, under one. Over a strand, under a strand. This is one tuck. We're going to repeat for a second and maybe a third time. So again, you take a pair, pass it over one, under one. The next pair, over one, under one. The last pair, over one, under one. This is the second tuck. Let's do one more. So you take a pair, over one, under one. The next pair, over one, under one. The last pair, over one, under one. Finishing up our splice. Pull firmly on your 3 strands to tighten them up. To prepare my strands for the footrope knot, I'm going to first remove my pieces of tape. Then I'm going to line up my strands one to each side. So like this. We now tie a 6-stranded doubled footrope knot. First off, we are going to tie a counterclockwise crown knot. You pick up a strand, pass it counterclockwise over the next one. The next strand passes counterclockwise over the next. Then the next one over the next. The next one over the next. The next one over the next. The final one, passing into the loop created by the first strand. What you get is a 6-sided crown knot, so a hexagonal shape. take one of your strands, pass it under the next strand, then double up this strand on the inner side, so over one, under one. Take the next strand, again, pass under the next one, again, doubling up this strand on the inner side, so over two, under one. The next strand is going to pass under these two, again doubling up this strand, over two, under one. Out of the next two strands, take the outer one, so this one here. Pass under the next two strands, double up this one here on the inner side, so over two, under one. Out of these two strands, take the outer one again. Pass under these two strands, double up this one here, so over two, under one. Out of the last pair here, we again take the outer strand. We pass over these two strands here, under this end. Here we need to be careful. We're going to double up this strand. We start under one, doubling our strand on the inner side. So, under one, over two, finishing under two. Our top is now doubled up. This is how your knot should look at this point. Take each strand, double up the strand at the bottom, going over two, then up through the center of the knot. The next strand, again the same thing. Double up this strand by going over two, then through the center of the knot. The next strand doubles up this one here, over two, through the center of the knot. The next one, over two, through the center. The next one, over two, through the center. the last strand over to up through the center. So that's our knot. Square it up a bit so that it looks nice. Then we're going to tighten it up. We start with this strand, so the one coming from the splice up. We go through our strand until we reach the working end. Take the next strand, again coming out of the splice, go through it, into the working end. So that's all we're doing. Going through our strands until we get a nice looking tight knot. Next, we cut and meld the ends. On the other side of our rope, we fold our rope into a handle. Now, we're going to secure our ends into our rope using an eye splice. To set up my splice, I'm going to take my first pair, pass it under a strand in my rope. Pass the second pair under the strand next to the first one. The third pair next to the second strand. So my pairs go like this. Now, I continue with my first pair, passing over under. The second pair, over under. Third pair, over under. Now, remove your tape here. Pull in your ends. Just to lock everything in place. Continue one more time. So the first pair, over under. Second pair, over under. Third pair, over under. Now bring these two pairs up to the point of the third pair. So the second strand passes over under again, coming to the same spot. The first pair has to pass over under, and again over under. We now have all 6 ends at the same spot, and we can tie our 6-stranded double footrope knot. After the eye splice, we finish up our 6 ends using another 6-stranded doubled footrope knot. When the knot is done, cut and melt the ends. With that, our project is complete. Guys, thank you very much for joining me in today's project. I hope that I presented all of the techniques clearly enough. So we did a bit of rope twisting, we did a back splice, and the 6-stranded footrope knot. On the other side, we folded a loop for the handle, did an eye splice, then finished up the ends using another 6-stranded footrope knot. Thank you for joining me, consider supporting the site on Patreon, and I'll see you next time.